So this goes to like into the 220s or 230s. So let's keep chatter to a minimum, no talking amongst yourselves, and let's bang these things out. I think I did part three last time as well, and we got up on it whenever those last few slides rolled around. But we'll get started. Just kidding about the banter. If you got any questions or want to discuss anything, let me know. So illegal forward pass. That's the referee signal where you're likely to tear a rotator cuff if you're putting your hand behind your back. You get a little wave or two with it, and we know it includes the loss of down. It'll be a spot foul and 5 yards. So there's five of them here on the list. Forward pass after changes team possession. So we'll see that. I think there's a video where it's kickoff. R gets it. That's a change, right? Even my crew the other night, we were talking, and they were like, "Wait, is a kick where R is in possession after they, after they receive it? That's a change. Yeah, totally, 100%. Pass beyond the neutral zone. We're going to talk a little bit further about that and how. What is it? 1 foot, two arms. It's 2 feet in or behind the neutral zone to legally throw a forward pass, right? Second forward pass during the down. Seen what was Carolina's quarterback a couple years ago, Doty, or back up. Pass gets bad at the line of scrimmage. Quarterback catches it, falls right into his lap, and he tries to throw another one. No, you can't do that. Pass intentionally thrown in the air without an eligible A receiver, and thrown incomplete to save yardage or time. So illegal forward pass exception, we know what 3 or 4 years ago they put in where a potential passer may be outside of the lateral edge of the free blocking zone, the tackle box, if you want to keep it short with coaches, but the lateral edge of the free blocking zone. And if he's the one that receives the snap or resultant backward pass, then he may legally ground the ball if it crosses the neutral zone. I believe is how it's worded. Or neutral zone extended, so we know that it'll extend indefinitely into the sideline. So he's got to get it across there. We'll talk mechanics about that in a minute. Rule of thumb down here, and I was reading this early, and yeah, if he's the first person to possess the backward pass or snap. Yep, good question.
Yeah.
Rule of thumb, and I didn't want to tinker with the slide too much, but that's the rule, right? I mean, that is the tackle box is 4 yards laterally, 3 yards in front and back. So, yeah, he's got to be outside of that. And if you've worked referee, you may have heard a couple of things about, oh, well, 2 hard steps laterally one way or another, or 3, whatever it is. But just use your best judgment there. But if he's trying to dump it and he gets anywhere close to it, I'd say we just put him out and live to fight another day. First video. Black line is the line of scrimmage. We probably get another view. So there's a good still right there. Black line, which we don't have on Fridays, right? But we've got a line of scrimmage person who's here. He didn't drift down, and we know line of scrimmage people. The rule says now to help out with ineligibles downfield, you may drift up to 2 yards, which is the line of demarcation and the rule for how far the lineman can go before a pass is released. But we know that if you do release and you've got a quarterback swinging out this way, release too quick, you're going to be in no man's land and potentially take a helmet or a freaking swinging leg or something off the knee and potentially injure your night or your season. So yeah, good here. We know that you may say, oh, they're trained to stay on the line of scrimmage. Whether or not, I would just say if you've got a quarterback swinging your way and you sense it, stay where you are. Doug would say you do your drop step and back up if you need to, or back up into the sideline, then do that drop step that Doug's been teaching for all them years. Okay, another video.
Not sure, let's say we did three, if we're backed up, we don't know for sure exactly close. What would be the best thing to do? Just not call it, and just be a legal forward pass?
You know, yeah, the referee can help, but again, if you, we're saying referees are 12 to 15 yards now. I implore you referees to be 14 or 15 yards. We've got that latitude to do it. And if you're doing like I've told a couple of y'all, you're even backing up if the quarterback is coming your way. So that's going to put you 16, 17 yards potentially behind the neutral zone at this point. You got a snowball's chance in heck to run up there 20 yards and see whereabouts he passed it from. So for years, forever, it's been the referee, incumbent on the referee, help from the umpire. But I would say the wings, it's going to be obvious enough to jump out to the wings to where they would get this 2 feet well beyond clearly and throw it at that point. If you got to guess, don't be throwing. That's.
Want me to throw the flag, or do you want to talk about it and then you throw the flag when the play's over? How do you want to do that?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you got them clearly beyond both feet, bang it. Yes, totally.
Just one foot behind. The both feet have to be behind for us. Both feet behind. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, but if he's both beyond him, if I misspoke, sorry, but hit.
No, I'm saying we don't know.
One beyond.
Yeah, but I'm getting.
Right.
I'm just misspeaking. Yes, he has to have both feet in or behind the neutral zone. If he has anything other than both feet beyond that, it is a foul. Yep. Thanks for the clarification.
No. He always does that.
So we know that any tape you watch in lateral position, it still may be lost on some of you, where the umpire puts the ball in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one, and especially when we're watching these games, we know that the big camera, the primary game view, is going to be from the press box side, right? So we're always looking at, in college games, the far sideline. So we'll call this ball being snapped from position 2 right here, and just going into the play armed with that information. It does. He kind of narrates that in the sound, but I don't think we have it. So you make the call, in or out. All right, here we go. Even a nice diagram here. He's in. So that movement he made to that way, it was close to 2 hard steps, but he didn't get there. Nope. And he comes on back, and that's when referees, a lot of people have told me, yeah, referees used to start keeping the lateral position on your hand yourself just for posterity's sake. And no, if this happens, if you got any other things where you need to reference where the ball was snapped from, or the edges of the free blocking zone, then consult your umpire. That's what you have to do. Lean on your umpire there. He's going to have lateral position on his hand. And in that case, it's either going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 being this ash here, 2 middle, 4, 5, and so on. And yeah, if you're just not sure, it may take a consultation with your U to see if you did or didn't. Yes. Yep. Sure enough. So that would have bailed him out, right? So if anytime there's a receiver in the area, any person that's legally able to pass it can throw it towards that person's way, and they'd be fine. In this case, we're saying that, okay, since that's not the case, he would have to be outside the lateral edge of the free blocking zone to legally dump it right here, which he's doing. It clearly got beyond the neutral zone extended. There's nobody over there. He didn't get out of the lateral edge of the free blocking zone, the tackle box, foul.
Came back, standing exactly where he was and playing anything. What do you got there?
Yep, good point. So the free blocking zone disintegrates whenever the ball leaves it. Yep. We good there? Snapping from position one, we'd see that that's now out the window. We're talking about a different kind of ING potentially. So who received the snap or backward pass? Not him, the quarterback, right? The person behind the snapper. So we do a little loop-de-loop shovel pass backward. All that's legal. And we know that he can still legally throw a forward pass, right? There's no we can have one during the down. The thing to him was either a pitch or a backward pass, whatever it was. And he gets over to the sideline. This is a slam dunk call. Super easy for the line of scrimmage person over there. But this, as you see, ING being a crew call, consultation with the referee, he comes over and he says, hey, that number 19, the receiver who's not been quarterback all day, he didn't receive the snap, ran across my face and came over there and clearly dumped it, just spiked it into the white on the sideline. So can't do that. It's foul. We need to sort out where the spot was. But that's where the ING spot in the backfield in a 5-person crew, referee all day, right? There's you don't have much help back there at all. This one on the sideline here, I think you can even see the and since it was an incomplete pass, there's no reason for the line of scrimmage person to be hanging out and just you can still have your eyes up and be dead ball officiating. But if you watch him, I noticed that he kind of saunters on over, moseys to where he thinks the ball was released from. He was backed up pretty good. He goes right there, killing the clock. Referee's there immediately.
You got to drop the flag. He knows he's over. He didn't. He went over there and waited on the right. The white had to come talk to him, and then he threw his flag.
Yeah, but it wasn't illegal. It was intentional.
So the short way would only throw a flag if it's a pass beyond the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, that's a referee's call for intentional ground.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was their conversation.
Oh,
Wade was telling him he was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have had a foul.
Yep.
Yep.
That's got a flag for intentional ground.
And that's good. Brush up before the test or whatever, and just before the first game, brush up on what is going to be this and what's going to be this, right? The few that we mentioned at the beginning, I think the first 3 bullets are IFP, illegal forward pass. The last 2, throwing into an area where there's no receiver or throwing it to conserve time or yardage. Those are ING. You can put your money on that. Okay, we might see one of the ones I referenced earlier. No, this is shot from a satellite. So I'll narrate. That was a pass as described, batted at the line of scrimmage, right back into the quarterback's lap. And that is a second forward pass during the down. So quick quiz. We just talked about it. Is that going to be this or this? Yes. Yep. That's an illegal forward pass. Carries the same enforcement, but if you get on one of them cool Fox games and have to bust out your signals for the camera, then you want to know what it is.
But they.
Yeah, they would decline.
Yes. Hey there.
We'll try to get a TV into the sanctuary so you guys can be in a cooler room, or
It's good now.
We gotta get you the heat anyway.
no, I keep it nice in here for you guys.
No, Thanks, sorry to blow you off there for a sec, but I think everybody's good.
Okay,
Uh,
just making sure.
Yep, thank you.
Gotta get used to the heat anyway.
So yeah, important. I was as referees are going to be on this play, you got a freaking unicorn once in a season thing that you're about to be down on, hoping you remember to blow your wacky whistle and alert your umpire like, hey, I got something in the backfield back here. That was not right. Well, upfield, we've got a freaking interception where somebody's running to a team bench or didn't have a clue. Wing over there might not have a clue. So this is where we have a convo. Super important to voice the results of the play. Can't when any foul is down.
Real quick, let's say if it was an incomplete pass, where are you penalizing it? What's the cause?
Spot of the foul.
Spot of the foul.
Is it 5 yards, spot of the 5 yards? So then just lost it down.
Yep, ING and IFP all spot of the foul, 5 yards, loss of down. Yep, good there. But somebody asked if we decline this. It was an interception, right? I figured that's why he said that. Yeah, so obviously declined.
Did you add them on front?
Fine.
So you have to find the penalty.
That's right.
Because interception.
No, it's not because it's an interception.
Just change it. So they want
Okay, more video.
That's a forward pass, baby.
Good catch.
Good pass.
Good
Good cast. Good pass, slung it.
Back in that ball.
Yeah, so yep. Don't split hairs there, right? If you we've got a line of scrimmage person, line judge on the pylon. Yep. So if it's close, man, call it a touchback. It would prevent the referee from flubbing the signal or the crew from flubbing the enforcement. We just get it, put it on the 20 and move on. But yeah, so this is a forward pass after a change of possession, right? As we discussed, this is a yep. So spot of the fouls. So if we call it the 9, let's make sure we get the flag in a good spot. It's gonna be half the distance. It changes the announcement a little bit.
Always.
Starting on second.
That's good. Good point.
Hey,
Right.
Yes.
So that same play, the guy drops it. What are we doing?
Yep. So you're
Or is that a forward pass and then he drops
so we need this from you, right?
it? Should have a whistle, right?
Should have a whistle, and that is one that's going to sneak up on you. I think I've told the story. Dwayne, he took me to my first big scrimmage ever. I was happy to get it, and he drove me up North Carolina somewhere. And sure enough, one of the last plays of the scrimmage, practicing kickoffs, and this happens to me as a wing official, and the guy drops it. However, and I let it bounce around for a good 6-8 seconds. People are diving at the ball. It was a long time ago, but it did, could have been yesterday, and stuff just sneaks up on you like that. So remember, that is incomplete illegal forward passes are treated the same. It's a forward pass. If it hits the ground, it's incomplete.
Let's say they have 35 going to him, and he threw it across to the. Okay.
Go forward to the 35 to the A40. Yeah.
So it's still an illegal forward pass. Now I'm K, right? Can I say that, hey, I want to accept the penalty?
For the
I want to ball up 5 yards and re-kick? You understand what I'm asking? Because the reason that Kay wouldn't wanna do that there is because they're so close to the end zone. But let's say that forward pass happened at the 40, at the 45.
Yep.
On Kay, can I say I wanna take it to where the play started, move the ball at 5 yards of the kicker, it's gotta be from that spot back behind.
Yep. And enforcement guidelines would say that after a change, so B is now the offense, right? So they fouled, the kicks over. That would be that's the main kicker, right? No pun intended. The kicks over. B's running, rather R's running with the ball, and they've got to take it where it is or decline it. Yep. Kicks over. Yep. So just the basic spot for a kick play is the previous spot. We've got the new rule from a year or two ago where fouls by K with a couple things must happen where R can tack that on or add it to the end of the play. All right, illegal forward pass question mark. Let's see. Yep. So it's a muffed snap, right? Yep. So we know you can spike it for years and years, and you had to be under center. So they were, who knows when this clip's from. You can do it from the shotgun, from the gun formation, but quarterback split back. But the ball hitting the ground excludes your ability to, rather precludes your ability to ground it in this case. So IFP or ING? It's ING for sure. So let's so all these ING is an illegal forward pass inherently, but the signal is different again on the two. So this spike situation, this botched spike situation, and the throw where there's no receiver and the guy outside of the lateral, not outside the lateral edge of the free blocking zone. So how could we make this legal? If he cleanly fields it, right, throws it into the ground immediately. If he's in the shotgun and it doesn't hit the ground, it's right into his face mask, and he muffs it or bats it up in the air, catches it immediately and throws it into the ground. Is that legal? No, have to cleanly field the snap, and it may not hit the ground. But muffs it any kind of way, and hitting the ground precludes it all the way. If he grabs it, we won't talk crazier what ifs than that. But Doug, yes, you're right.
Hits him in the chest, bounces up the air, and catches it down.
You gotta get it clean.
We can umpires spot the ball. No, find your path before you get in there, right? I've never run umpire. I ran center judge for a while, and I'm having to deal with the same size guys, except going the other way. You want to have your egress before you roll in. And if you don't use that big body and just bust them on out of the way. All right, backward spike. I think we all have seen this, but
Once as well there.
Yeah.
But the foul fails.
Yeah, it was. What foul? Yeah, there wasn't a foul.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess there's.
There was an IW.
Yeah. He threw it backwards.
so they did. Yeah, we got the mask on. Going to the well for this one. So he muffs it there and it hits the ground. So double whammy is going to be an ing if he attempts to spike it forward. I believe clearly the rule on the field was an incomplete pass here.
We spiked it back.
But he spiked it backwards is what they I think eventually go to video review and say. We won't.
They give that. I mean, I couldn't tell. Just like with Wilkins, oh, it's holding, a little bit of holding.
I guess that was five percent or so. They need to replay to figure it out.
Yeah.
Cause in my game it's full.
For sure.
It's like the market always for.
In their game, it was forward too, and I think that's a good way to live and die is just for. I mean,
We found the intention.
yeah. So just it may not hit the ground in their game either. So that's what made that a foul. And then he says, he gives the announcement to ing the ball hit the ground prior to the spike attempt, and previous plays under further review. Again, pretty sure replay says no, that was backward. And as you know, if there's a immediate recovery in the continuing action, then if White fell on it, they could get it. But all right, more IFPs, INGs, backward pass. Uh-oh. Okay, so right here we discussing the other one. Can he can throw a legal forward pass? The first one was backward, but still got one in the bank, right? We talked about who can legally throw it beyond the neutral zone or the neutral zone extended, and it ain't him. Yeah. So that's going to be a foul. It'll be a foul, 5 yards. Spot of the foul, loss of down. ING enforcement. So it's like I watched this a few times. He's at the 34, 33, whatever. And it was fourth down, I think. Let's verify that. Good luck. Yes, so it's fourth down. Again, it's tough, but one more time. 34, 33. Let's suss out what they're supposed to be doing, and then we'll see what they do. So we call it 34, 33. It's fourth down. B doesn't have to decline it, right? Because it's a loss of down. Yeah, it's a loss of down. They can take it all day. There's no reason why they wouldn't take it. Yep, and that would it would results in a turnover on downs. Team B ball, right?
So, what's going on? So what?
We're still waiting to see.
So, do they enforce the penalty?
Wait, Sam.
Get the fee. This is really quick. Why? Looks like they don't enforce it.
No, right. They got those. They put it on spot foul.
That wasn't even spot the foul.
He went big spot, yeah.
That's not where, that's not where.
That's a spot.
Yeah, so that, they should have been like, right,
Come on, you got 5 people out there, you know the damn rules.
Yeah, so with ING, with only the referee back there, if you get it within a yard or two, great. Within a yard is friggin' perfect. On the money, Charlie should be calling you Monday and giving you kudos for that. Yeah, giving you a raise.
Yeah, the referee there.
Sorry about that. All right, ING or no? I know you can barely see what's going on here. Like this action right there too. And what I think happens is the ball goes over his outside shoulder. And so wings, we know we teach you, and this is day one stuff. You're straddling the football whenever the snap's whenever the snap is imminent. So straddling the football, probably not standing like this, but even if you got a big wide stance, you default to that being your neutral zone, right? And even if you do have a wide stance, your shoulders are a little bit narrower. We can say that if it crosses over your offensive backfield side shoulder, then it certainly hadn't crossed the neutral zone, or if you sense it may have crossed the neutral zone extended behind you, then go with it. Offer that information. Catch. So big long definition, but establishing player possession of a live ball in flight, first contact in the ground, inbounds while maintaining possession of the ball. Doesn't say anything about going to the ground. Doc would want me to mention that. Or having forward progress of the player in possession stopped while an opponent is carrying the player who's in possession and inbounds. Catching always preceded by touching. Why would we need to know that? In case somebody renders themselves out of bounds by stepping out of bounds. I was going to say ineligible. We know that a player who begins the down eligible is eligible throughout. But certainly if somebody leaps from out of bounds, touches it, it's dead. DRT, right? Dead right there. Doesn't matter if they catch it or not, is kind of what I associate that rule with. And simultaneous catch or recovery, when a joint possession of live ball, opposing players who are in bounds. There's a video circulating, but Doc might have it in the archives of a would-be simultaneous catch or recovery, but one of the players is out of bounds, which is weird, right? What's that do with the status of the football and a player out of bounds touching it and all that? But I digress. So yeah, I think the way the catch Article 1 is worded is a bit faulty in that possession means what it does, and to be in player possession, you have to have caught it or recovered it. And they say, possessing an airborne ball is also possession. Then you have to come down and do all the stuff that would make it a catch. So I think of it as control is a better word, but that's not what the rule book says. So if they possess a live ball in flight, even if the player is in flight as well or airborne, conflating terms here, but. And there it is. Establish player possession of a ball in flight. I mean, by rule, you can't do that, is what I'm arguing, but that's what the rule says. And first contacts the ground and bounds. So High school is 1 foot, we know, or any body part, right? But it's you contact with your hand, elbow, anything that's not a foot or an ankle or a hand, or rather, yep, a foot or a hand, or an elbow or buttocks or anything else. Interception, this is just again geeking out on some rules, semantics, and not, so we know an interception is the catch of an opponent's pass, fumble, and it stops there. Recovery is the same thing, gaining possession of a grounded backward pass, fumble, loose ball. Simultaneous recovery, again, it's opposing players inbounds. Legal pass, any B player can catch in advance. Eligible A players can catch in advance. And we're talking about forward passes, right? And ball remains live if ineligible A player catches pass. So, there's no live ball foul causes the ball to become dead. Other than, I would argue, a face mask that rips a runner's helmet off. But an illegal pass, any B player can catch in advance, and any A player can catch in advance. So the prohibitions only are there for legal forward passes. So legal and illegal, we know that pass is incomplete if it touches the ground, or an out of bounds player not in possession. Out of bounds player touches pass, airborne player lands out of bounds, touching a pass. And that's not having, again, touching preceding catching. That means if he hasn't caught it yet or secured possession in the air and he lands out of bounds, we know that's a run of the mill incomplete pass. So this has a narration to it, but I'll just give you the cliff notes of what it says. There it is. That was what I said in the last slide. But so we heard for years in pre-games, who's got feet, who's got ball, right? For years, probably still get said every Saturday or every Friday around the state. And you've got to use the view that's available to you to make the best decision you can. But that's going to start with feet, because if you don't have a foot up, the foot down rather, and a foot off of that red line or white line, that's going to be incomplete straight up. Once you've assessed, you're maintaining your spacing. Once you've assessed that you've got a foot down, got to go up to the ball. Is he bobbling it? Does he have it possessed? And you've got your answer there usually. If it's a case where the back judge has drifted over a little bit and he's able to offer help, then fine. But wings, as you know, tight sideline plays, you're on your own. And if it's the opposite team's player that's running in there, you're going to get a whole lot of pushback from them. But that's where the confidence comes in. That's where spacing, not being too quick to leave the line of scrimmage, just using a simple turn of the head or not a drop step, but just a pivot to straddle the sideline, get your body still, and make your judgment. A catch. I forget if this is Shaw or Reading narrating this, but they're like, yeah, it's a catch in college too. I mean, when you slow it down to these micro frames, he's caught it, made a football move or an act common to the game.
He's wearing biking shorts.
No, but so a catch as we discussed is
But again,
it's
in real life, high school football, without all this wonderful equipment. If they go bang bang like that, you call it incomplete, necessarily confident. Yeah, that's what you got, that's the call, we're gonna go with it.
But you gotta sell.
Yep, yeah, I agree, that's what I'm saying, you have to be confident in yourself, but I'm saying.
Don't be
in
shy
high
out
school,
there.
that's a quick.
Sell it quick and fast. Okay, move on.
Yeah, I mean, you're not.
but we know what selling it looks like, right? Selling it means sometimes running onto the field 5, 8, 10 yards, slapping the ground with one hand. I've seen guys slap the ground with two hands and give 4 flaps of incomplete signal. We try to take a lot of these major hand movements out on a regular run of the mill incomplete pass. 2 of these max. We're not coming up top anymore. This is what kills the clock, right? But a strong sell, you may need 3, 4, 5 stern ones of these.
We don't pat the ground, right? We're not.
I mean, you're going to.
That's all.
No, we're not going to swipe them out. But again, if a sell is depends how big the doggone situation is. Yeah, slapping the ground's not any kind of mechanic book, but yeah, if you're
Yeah. High school. High school.
High school, that's the definition.
so boom, he's got control, possession, foot down, 2 feet.
Down.
So like that for a catch, right? Friday night, that's catch for sure. Yep.
Flag.
So they're circling the football rolling out.
Yeah, Friday.
The NFL doesn't know. Depends on the betting line.
So it's a different play, but we've got what appears to be possession, body part down. And even a reach. So, I mean, it was. So where are we spotting the ball? Just inside the 1? Yep. So all that we all saw the knee there. I mean, that's a catch at any level of football all day long. But this one here, yep. So he's got control and I think Garrett, I was listening in to the last meeting. Goal line extended. If we know that a body part down gets you goal line extended in the field of play or in the end zone, right? So if you got both feet inside the end zone, but the ball's maybe outside of the pylon or by rule we're still going to call that a touchdown, right? If somebody
You went on record.
more So you can see the headers and just a tight view here.
Yeah, I think that's a problem. See, he's not coming up and being tagged by anything, so now nobody knows what that.
Oh, this is a baby nonsense plan too.
Definitely forward. And it's like. You got boards in there.
He probably still won, I think.
Well, we don't, nobody else pretty much have to see him this year.
How do you assess the direction of a pass? It's just initial direction when it leaves the hand, right? So if it's forward, then it's going to be going forward. If it's parallel or toward the runners, toward the offensive team's goal line, then it's backward. So, but yeah, I think it's clearly forward and clearly not a catch. So yep, incomplete.
Landers over there, they just kind of walk over to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's code word for he really doesn't know. That's why he needs help. And that's why the opposite wing should be emphatic with help.
other folks that we should be right
To get this right.
from the other side of the field.
And that hostile sideline, you saw the swarm. He had the freaking wolf pack next to him. 5 people immediately on his behind, saying, "No, that's going the other way." And we know there's games that are going to be like that. There's coaches and coaching staffs that are going to be like that. But we got an injured player. We got a football on the ground too. What's that all about? All right.
Probably punched him in the nuts.
Probably squeezed them.
He fell on the ball.
He landed on the ball, he got wind knocked out.
That's a Tiger's fault.
That looks like possession. That's a foot, 2 feet, a knee, a tuck. It's like a touchdown.
Okay.
Get up. Robbie, that looks like.
So a tad choppy.
That dude was knowledgeable in this. He wanted to spark the fire ants on
I think is that good enough possession for you?
Yeah.
No.
That's hard. It's back. Yeah.
No one else is gonna be the only one.
No one else.
If he ends up,
Like your back judge is gonna be the only person who can see me.
Put 1/3 down.
You got it out of miles. Do I need to take a little bit off? It's that.
Touchdown.
so say touchdown, which appears to be a catch. Where's the football go in relation to the pylon?
Yeah.
So if you got a body part against touching in the field of play or the end zone, we know the pylon is in the end zone. Appears to be a touchdown to me.
On foot.
Plane, but he broke the plane.
Yeah, correct.
Already had one. The ball is over, right? Yeah, let's go on.
So if you don't rule it dead prior to him hitting the pylon, we know that that's all bets are off at that point, right? The pylon is out of bounds behind the goal line or in the end zone. Yeah, that's touchdown, and he got it inside the pylon anyway. So, I was, not to we'll talk mechanics here for a second. And this is a big monster game with 100,000 people there, right, and millions watching around the world. But I'd like to say the spot is not going to go anywhere. That's what we try to tell the young wing officials and everybody, right? Because this guy's clearly the supervisor thought well enough of him to give him a national championship caliber game. And if you notice, he's got his hand up and just staring at the friggin' spot the whole time. Whether it's if you miss it by 6 inches, and when you're the one, we talked about a couple plays earlier, where we putting that just inside the one, certainly, but yeah. So he's staring it down. If both those guys roll into the camera wells and all that stuff.
Probably go ahead and.
No, this game is not close to the same. Sam, are you?
That's right.
Yeah.
So they blew it.
This is one of my old ODAC games here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had multiple beanbags here, and you've since been coached into, but the time element is a consideration for moving forward. But
So,
we did. We catch no catch, super subjective, right?
that's enough.
Yeah, nothing about that screams catch.
Run that by.
Want to see it again?
Hard to tell.
Who said that?
But if we're, again, if we're just going with possession and body part down, you at least got to make sure he freaking possesses the thing, right? Like make it good.
Everybody says,
Yeah.
we got a long conversation. Oh, but the back judge has something different. Referees, boogers.
No, that's Sean.
I know, referee.
Referee's like, let's go. Yeah. Good.
So you're making a call, let's get over.
We're talking pregame. What should happen between the short wing and the back judge? What should they do?
Run it off, look at each other.
What did they not do?
They didn't look.
They did.
One got touchdown, one's got incomplete.
They got to go hunt each other down.
And then now I'm looking over there going, what's taking so long, John?
So this was.
Let's watch the replay northeast.
Yes.
That just directs the question on referee.
Hey.
Watch for the question.
They give him a touchdown?
What we think? We'll watch it one more.
So, the air station, I went over there and I watched the video. Obviously, we all saw the
What's the
incomplete.
what's the back judge looking at?
Back judge has touchdown, so I go
No.
over there and I ask what they're talking about, because the back judge says, I have a touchdown. Short wing says, I have incomplete pass. So I literally said, so I said, what did you see? So the back judge says, I saw the ball go in, it came down with a foot inbounds, that's a touchdown. By rule, right?
Yeah.
The short wing, I said, well, what did you see? He said, I just saw the ball on the ground.
Oh.
So based on those two informations, I have to go.
Yeah.
With what I got. I don't even see this pass. I have no idea what happens in the end zone.
Correct.
That goes back to just the crew. Yeah, I'm the referee, so I have no idea what happens.
Right.
But I got C incomplete. And then my back judge is, even this room, we got touchdown.
The receiver knows that.
And the receiver was mad because he dropped saying.
Yeah, that's it. We polled everybody that maybe some, but I'm probably going to lean incomplete on that one. But it in
I'm going on right.
Yes.
Doug said he's going on record.
That is incomplete, and you do whatever you want to do.
That's a touchdown.
Oh, that he never had control. And no.
He didn't have control.
Okay.
You're a referee, I just see.
He's bobbling the ball. I was a line, so he's bobbling the ball the whole time. He don't really have control of it.
That one's gonna go, he didn't have a chance.
Thank God, but you have to read the ball incomplete. Now I'm going on record. And then we get the film and everybody sees it's incomplete.
But you wrong, though, because it's already been. You're wrong. You looked at the film, Andrew. So what?
all right.
Go ahead.
All right. So we're forward progress.
Move forward.
Yep. So forward progress of an airborne receiver, and we're going to watch a video here where and forward progress is going to be determined when a receiver is contacted by a defender. Don't get forward progress if you leap from one spot and go back upfield on your own volition, right? It's got to untouched. So keyword there, key phrase, when contacted by defender. And forward progress requires possession which occurs after the catch. So if you don't come down cleanly with it there, when so I think the one on your right, he's a bit short of the goal line. Yep. So on the right, he's short. On the on A or on the left, he's in the end zone. Boom. Then contacted. Forward progress at the 1 yard line for B or on your right. So
He's in his zone when you catch it here. You got it.
Yes.
yep. If he's
in his zone when he catches it, you got it touch.
if he's driven out, yes.
It don't matter. If he catches it, beyond that white line, he got it.
Only if his foot is on the end zone, he's got a touch. He has to catch the ball and be down. If he about this now, he gets to the end zone. He's running. He jumps and lands on it. It's down as a pretty.
That's true. That's correct.
Yeah.
Just say.
If you got time, you feel like we'll just keep moving.
How many slides we got? And we still got like 50 slides left. We'll just skip it.
Running back.
He carried for loud.
If he gets secure, you still got it. Unless he carries.
Yeah. So this is a good example, right?
Alright, yep, Judges, and then knocks him out.
So boom is there. He's possessed it in the air. He does still have to come down and get a body part down anywhere to complete the process of a catch. But because he was first contacted by a defender in the end zone or over the goal line, touchdown. Good. Pass eligibility only applies to a legal forward pass. So that means any player on the field can catch or throw a backward pass, right? So when we're talking about pass eligibility, only legal forward passes. A player releases the ball with both feet of pass are entered behind the neutral zone. Neutral zone's a plane. We know all B players are eligible to start the down. Eligibility rules for A are based on numbers and positioning. So what are the ineligible numbers? 50 through 79. And at no point in the down can those persons render themselves eligible. I was going to say, yeah, it's a. So eligible receivers, backs, ends, and not numbered 50 through 79. Ineligible receivers, position between the ends or covered up, or numbered 50 through 79. All players eligible to start remain eligible throughout. And again, that last bullet there here, the grumbles, all A players eligible after B touches the forward pass. So eligible receivers here, we count them up 1, 2, 3, 4, snapper 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's like a tackle over tight end situation. Even though he's in a tight end position, you can tell he's wearing 72, 70, whatever. Ineligible to start the down, right? This guy's a back, clearly off. We won't have a down the line view, but that's 80. We'll call him number 9. He's on the end eligible, a back eligible, back, all eligible. So eligible receiver, I think this is just basically getting at can this player catch a backward pass? He's clearly off the line, clearly a back, wearing a good number all day, right? Anybody can catch a backward pass. Yeah. And like so many of the other ones, he can throw it too. All right, legal participation. We know that players eligible to start the down remain eligible throughout. So there's no illegal touching by this person if he happens to do what we think he's about to do. If a player may be forced out of bounds, come back on his own at the first opportunity, and now we've got what we consider establishing back in bounds, right? And so that's a judgment thing, but I mean it's timing and getting out of bounds player or players either in bounds or out of bounds. So if you got any part touching, you're out.
You can touch balls.
Yep. So that is clearly having reestablished.
He touched himself.
If he touches himself out there, that's on him.
That would be illegal touch. So let's talk about this. The rules obviously.
No, I don't think that would just put in.
Yeah. So there's no. Foul occurs.
It's a
Yep. So if you see an A player before a change of possession may not go out of bounds on his own, whether intentionally or not. I mean, that's, we talk about not ruling intent and stuff, but there's one place where it says it's clearly defined in the illegal participation rule that he can't go out of bounds regardless, unless he's pushed out, then we know. So it's a foul when he returns. If he stays out of bounds, we got nothing. This, we clearly see that this develops into a pass play. So the basic spot is going to hinge on that. It was a pass play. We call this illegal participation. It's going to be previous spot. Easy enough. Let's just, since we were on that, what about if it's a run play? He steps out of bounds here, quarterback tucks it and runs 10 yards beyond the A40 where that guy came back in. Spot of the foul, right? It's we're going to use three, but all but one's not a thing anymore. We've got all these enforcement provisions, but we just know that spot of the foul happened behind the end of the run, come back to the end and run what we call the A40 and take it 15 yards from there. Difference between run and a pass play on illegal participation. So significance of player eligibility. Let Malfrey tell it. This is ineligible downfield is one of your favorite rules, huh? Ineligible A may advance into the expanded neutral zone at the snap. Engagement with B is not required. I think we got caught up on that a couple years ago, and we had to be engaged to get the 2-yard buffer, the expansion to the neutral zone. But it's not the case. And linemen are restricted from moving more than 2 yards downfield or past the expanded neutral zone, which expands into the defensive backfield. Before a legal pass that crosses the neutral zone is in flight. Ineligible A player may not bat, muff, touch, catch, and touching in this case is intentional act. If a quarterback drops back and he sees his running back, and it whiffs by the running back's head and doinks number 75 in the back. It touched him, but that's a nothing, right? That's he didn't intentionally touch it, and we've got no foul, nothing wrong there. So we've got some legal touching. This is that game in Ireland, huh?
A little different.
All right, perfect. Just what we were talking about. So B batted that pass legally. B's able to B's able to touch any kind of pass ever. And with B touching it, that renders all A players eligible, right? Expanded neutral zone, kind of gave you the definition earlier, but the neutral zone may be expanded up to 2 yards behind the defensive line of scrimmage in the field of play, important, during any scrimmage down. Field of play, any scrimmage down only in one direction. That is, again, towards B's goal line. Not expanded to the end zone if scrimmage kick occurs. So mechanics on pass plays, this is red, so apparently a change or something you need to know. Line of scrimmage people drift 2 yards downfield. And this says linesman and line judge here at the top right. So drift 2 yards downfield, move in position to check the blocking and contact of eligible receivers. Again, it's work. Still, the thought is you'll help out more with eligible receivers, rather ineligible receivers. But if you vacate the line of scrimmage, then what did we talk about at the beginning of the presentation? The passer potentially going beyond the line of scrimmage, ruling on forward or backward, the initial direction of the pass. I believe that's compromised a little bit by moving downfield. In fact, some would say moving into the offensive backfield will get you a better view of forward or backward pass. moving downfield to get you a better view of ineligibles and help out the umpire. It's a very difficult call as it stands. So yeah, maybe your services are better needed downfield
Back to the definition,
of,
fingers,
yes. I'll say that.
okay, they have removed in the field of play as a definition.
And so it may go into the end zone. Okay, so yeah, it seemed a bit contradictory. I read that at the bottom, and okay, so we'll change that, but that's
Great.
and it really, I mean, think about it, doesn't make any sense. Like, so linemen are just not supposed to go. You're just supposed to stay stagnant and not push or do anything, and it end up making your way into the end zone. But yeah, just I think for continuity of the rule, they get the 2-yard belt in the end zone as well. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
I mean, you could be snapping from the one and throwing a pass.
Yeah.
If he steps on the goal line, he's still good.
Yep. Okay. Good. We'll all right, we get a better view here. So see where we're snapping from real quick, I think. Yeah, so one of them got trickled down field pretty far. Somebody ends up on the big line, 76. So the thought process is umpires, you step up towards the line of scrimmage to help out with this exact thing, right?
Yeah, did exactly what he was.
Good. All right, more ineligible downfield players. Snapping from the 49 plus 49. All right. And Malford would tell you, we talked about staying stationary if you're the play side wing, because moving downfield too fast is it is gonna absolutely get you in a place where you can't get out of. So it's incumbent on the offside wing. If you're not play side, if it, because if you are play side, you got all this stuff coming at you, and you're trying to what a
I miss these two.
and that's so wings traditionally responsible for the belt, right? So if you don't have the play coming your way, you want to dead ball officiate or catch any of the action, look at colors, but primarily I think the trend has gone to we're trying to help out our buddy in the middle who can't, he's more or less wings. If you keep your distance, you've got better peripheral view of the quarterback when he's releasing the ball, and probably in better position. I know it's just always what we've done. The umpire gets them.
Yeah.
So this is a and we've got a big line.
Good, yeah.
What's it?
Good lines.
So the big line's 3 yards. We got an RPO that takes, I mean, this guy just obviously missed his assignment or didn't know what he was doing, but he bolts out immediately. Is that a good 3 yards? Again, use the field to your advantage. If that's what line Joe's throwing on, good. I mean, it's a foul by rule, and he got it. So I'm breezing through some of these. Doc put together a Kahoot. We're going to maybe try and do that here in a second.
Got it back out.
Somebody's covered up, that's what you guys say.
So is he's on? So if he's off, he's off, he's off. This guy, I mean, he's pretty close to being off, you know.
I'm not going, but, cause he's the line judge, so
Line judge.
telling the back judge, I got 11.
He says he's on.
No, we're saying he's telling the
Oh.
back judge, I got
No,
11.
so
His arm's not straight.
confirming his count. Yeah, so this is both the punching forward and so Mofford would tell you to make this legal, right? Because
And making him off the line makes this legal. So far away from the line of scrimmage, not gaining.
Oh,
and is that him that cut his route off like 5 yards down the field? Literally not a participant in the play. Yeah, well, he does a whatever kind of route you call that, but yeah. So I don't know if they brought that back or not. So what about linemen? If they go downfield, can they come back behind and render themselves not having done anything? Anybody got that answer? Quarterback can, right? If he goes beyond and is 10 yards downfield and he comes back behind and has both feet in or behind the neutral zone and he releases it, he's fine. Yeah, so I think there was a foul for IDP, an eligible downfield player here. It's in the rule book now for this game that you don't enforce it, but there's no such provision in the high school book. So if you've got an ineligible player downfield, you've got the ball legally thrown out of bounds by the person that receives the snap, you still enforce it. At least, hopefully, that is what Garrick has been teaching. All right, can we log in real quick, Rico? Okay. Same one.
Yeah.
Password. That's the same one, it looks like.
I think he tweaked it.
All right. So 0 or no?
Whoa.
That's on real see. Did you open the browser or you do it from within?
Yeah, I did it from the thing. That's not what he said to do, right?
You shouldn't have, you shouldn't have put it in again.
Yeah. All right, updated password.
Should be 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, well,
23, 26, right? Gosh, dang
It should be, yeah, 23 through 26.
it. Mhm.
26.
Yeah, I don't know how to freaking access it.
The QR code owner needs to choose a plan.
You just have to
know this QR code. What?
All right. Following can be intercepted.
One person, yeah. One person. Okay, let's go. Session. Cool.
Kick ins win. Says so.
That's pretty.
Okay, switch to. That's great. No, it's always, no, gotta be the. Yeah, that's what you know, it says now. Oh, it's a price for the. Okay.
Switching to the QR code.
Okay. Yeah, possessed by R, possessed by K, right? That's when a board goes out of bounds. There's some other ways it can end. Kicking's an intentional act.
I think taking is an intentional act.
Yep.
There's hardly anybody signed in for this.
Where's my text
What about tripping? Is tripping an intentional act?
I know.
You still around?
So kickoff, definitions, right? Like there's free kick. Kickoff is a specific type of free kick, one that we would use to start a half after a score. Yep, all but punt, right? We can use it on a free kick after safety, as was discussed, but not on a kickoff to start a game or a half. Punt may be used for the following. You got the first one.
They should give us that option every time.
I don't know if it's stop.
Line of scrimmage applies to the following. Hmm. How many lines of scrimmage are there? I say lines, I mean it's plural, right? Gotta be at least two. Yeah, so we know lines of scrimmage are at either end of the football. When is a defensive player considered on his line of scrimmage? Is it 1 yard, 2 yards, or in the free blocking zone at the snap?
Make it stop.
1 yard, is that right? The goal line is in the field of play. True or false? I like it. The answer's coming in. False. Goal line is in the end zone. When is the line of game established? Word about the referee, right? The chains people, while they're an integral part of our game and will screw you if you give them a chance, they they're just there for reference sake, right? All the scrimmage kicks may be advanced. All of the scrimmage kicks that may be advanced, we'll call it. Punt recovered by K beyond the neutral zone? No. Punt recovered by K in or behind? Field goal attempt beyond. Field goal attempt in or behind. Yep. So in or behind is the crucial part there, right?
Check the podium, baby.
Check the podium.
Well, I actually had to ask this, so that.
Okay. 7 out of 10. Go ahead, Scott Royster.
I got more.
I know we were
There was 3 people participating.
give me a couple more minutes, please. We'll couple more minutes and we'll get out of here. Illegal touching, and this came up a few years ago where an A lineman was in position to touch a pass, but instead he saw that he was in a cluster of people and just batted it down, like full batting motion, swung the arms back and hit it. So he can't do that either. The smart guy said, well, that's not only illegal touching, that's illegal batting as well. He's not eligible to touch the pass. He batted it. And in that case, you have different enforcements, but certainly with illegal batting, not carrying a loss of down provision. We're going to ask the coach though. If there's 2 fouls, you're gonna say which one you want. Yeah, they're gonna. Everybody, we call that 4th of July, right? Everybody get some action. We had a game this past year where center judge identified that the punt team, it was the punt team. They had 2 number 2s participating. I think one of the backs was number 2, and he saw the guy out here to the right was number 2 as well. And he gets on the radio and says, "Hey guys, I got 2 number 2s on the punt team." And sure enough, we didn't have 7 flags from everybody. So if you want a correct call, come get it. Boss didn't like that very much. So the videos out there, this is important, right? It's been on pretty much every end of the summer exam we've taken. Pass interference restrictions begin with A at the snap, because they know what the play is, they know where the ball is potentially going. B, when the ball is released. Requirements, it's a legal forward pass. Pass crosses the neutral zone and is untouched by B before doing so. Eligible A players, A or B touches the pass. Ineligible A players may legally block to ward off an opponent. And ineligible A players, they're eligible when B touches the pass. Of course, restrictions in when the pass is incomplete, that means the down's over, right? Team B restrictions in. Any A or B player touches the pass, we're talking about interference at this point. Unavoidable contact between 2+ eligible players attempting to move toward, catch, bat a pass that they may possess. It's redundant to they may possess it if they're eligible, right? Ineligible may block in the expanded neutral zone if contact B lineman at the snap and contact continues. So you got the 3 criteria, right? It's we can't have offensive or defensive pass interference occur on action that occurs in the offensive backfield. We could certainly have defensive holding or offensive holding for that matter, tackles and rather major restrictions, players being tackled and stuff like that. DPI and a dead ball foul. I just want to hit some of the rule stuff. All this film is out here. We'll watch this one real quick. It's a juicy one. Yep. So we see this player at the top. He's contacted, which is legal, right? But I think white A number 4, A number 4 ends up turning into the aggressor, continues to block downfield, clearing out the guy. The contact continues beyond the neutral zone, and there's a pass, and the pass goes in that direction. So not that it needs to, but that just doubles down on why we would want to throw that. If he's blocking down here, well down at the bottom of the screen, and same contact, that's a no harm, no foul, in my opinion. Is it a foul by rule? By philosophy, though, certainly not. DPI. So I think Doc's point here would want to be is catchability a factor in high school football? It's not, right? So this we want to work the 2-step process. That's a phrase that is talked about at all the clinics we go to, all the discussions we have about what differentiating between defensive holding and defensive pass interference. So as a line of scrimmage person, as a back judge, you want to assess the action, and the 2-step process is a section assessing the action, looking back to the quarterback. If you still got the ball, you got defensive holding. If the ball's in the air, so what we say here, boom, we see that big hook and turn of the waist.
Yeah.
You look back at the quarterback, ball's gone, defensive pass interference. Roughing the passer, it has it's got its own special enforcement rules, right? And in essence of time and trying to get out of here. Basically, though, it's not treated like any of the other personal fouls. But we'll take roughing the passer with a few caveats to it from the dead ball spot. Some of the caveats would be if there's a change of possession, as we know. when the run ends behind the neutral zone, we're not going to take it from that spot. We're going to take it from the previous spot like we do any A fouls now, but when the run ends behind the neutral zone. So roughing the passer, this is a good one. We got a player attempting to bat the pass, but he just comes in with two big mitts and slaps the quarterback in the face.
Face slap. Yeah.
See.
I mean, ball clearly gone.
All day.
Oh, that's roughing the passer, right? Yeah, sure enough, and that's a hand, fist, arm, elbow, whatever that long list is. That I think my coordinator on Saturday would certainly say, "Greg, good call for roughing the passer. Did you consider target?" I know that's what it right, but when I call it no, he's gonna still ask me if I considered it though. I'll let replay earn their money. So again, any of the actions, personal foul actions against the passer, that we would call against any other, a runner or whatever. So we all remember this one. And referees, you're not gonna say, all right, horse collar tackle, that one's declined. It's just like when you've got ineligible receiver downfield, somebody covered up that turns into an illegal touching of the pass. While you have them, and you probably want to put them on your foul report or report them to the to the person taking the fouls at the end of the game, don't want to announce it. He ends up being a passer. If this is a legal forward pass, if there's somebody in the direction of wherever he's throwing it, I assume it's just RPS. All right, last video, last slide. We'll see what they do here. Roughing the passer enforcement. Backward pass. A couple big mitts to the face. He's not the quarterback, right? He's a passer, though, in every sense of the word. He's somebody that threw a legal forward pass. So, and this is an easy one, right? But one where the results of the play needs to, again, the referee's just back there doing nothing and not figuring out what's going on downfield. So change of possession, easy peasy, previous spot. Then, where they were snapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the
Legal forward pass.
Yep, he's the only one. And when you leave your feet, that's what Larry likes to say, that when you leave your feet, the onus is on you, man. You cannot come crashing down in him, and he gets the little hand action right to the helmet. It's RPS. That's all I got. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You.